Welcome to this overview of our new editor for the Hologram Electronics Microcosm pedal for Ableton Live Suite. In this video I will explain all the features of the Microcosm pedal. And on our website and in the download file you can find the installation manual of the editor. I will not go into the installation process details, but in our manual the process is very straightforward. So let's load the editor into Ableton Live Suite 12. And I will show you where you can find it. You go to your user library in the category Places. Then under Presets you go to Media Effects, and then you have Max Media Effects. And if you scroll down, there is the Microcosm Editor. You drag it into a MIDI track, or just double click it and it will open in a MIDI track, but I already created one. First you have to select a MIDI port. I already set a port. And you have to set a MIDI channel. You have to set a MIDI port to which the editor will communicate to. And if you select a MIDI channel, the default is 1 on in Ableton Live. And that's also in the pedal, but if you change the default settings in the pedal, you have to match it. So if you have it on another channel, set it on that specific number. Okay. By pressing this button, you can see if the microcosm works, and as you can see, it works. Let's go over the details of all the parameters of the editor. First off, if you click on the editor and you hover over any of the parameters, you will see an information dialog here, which explains what it does. In this section here, you see all the dials, which represent also the dials on the microcosm. We have made some slight changes. As you can see, there's no shape dial and there's no reverb type dial. This has to do with the fact that the dial on the pedal only has 4 values. It sends out 4 values to select the shape, and also the reverb type. The dial only sends out 4 values to switch between the 4 reverb algorithms in the pedal. So to make it more clear what you are doing, we have made 4 buttons here and here. There's another difference in the pedal and the editor. The subdivision menu. On the pedal there's a dial, of course. You have to hold shift and then turn the time dial to change the subdivisions. We made a menu for this. If you select a menu, the time dial will be deactivated. It will be set on 64. This is also the case in the pedal itself, if you don't use the editor, but we mimicked the same behavior. Also, the dial will turn blue if you use the subdivisions. This has to do with the fact that if you want to store a preset into Ableton Live, here, Ableton Live needs to know which parameter you used first, or which has priority over the other. Because if I use the subdivision, this needs to be sent to the pedal and not this. If I use the time dial, you see it turned white, and now Ableton knows this parameter has to be sent to the pedal when it loads this preset. You don't have to think about this. It works like it should. So, but it will explain the color. Then here you have the algorithms of the pedal. You can go from one to the other without any delays, of course. If you select any of the algorithms, you see it will transmit a program change. This is the way to select the algorithms in the pedal. You can also automate this. Well, I'll go into that later on in the video. I will show you how to do that. This is the clock section. Here we have the source of the clock. We actually do not use the clock or MIDI clock of Ableton or any other devices. We generate a MIDI CC, I believe 93, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 93. If I press play on Ableton, you can see it will automatically sync and you see that the tempo is matched to the editor or to Ableton. We have done this because not all MIDI interfaces handle MIDI clock well. They jitter, and in time they will go out of sync. So we generate a random CC value, as you can see here. It's 93, and the value is always random. You can also use the clock of the editor itself. It has its own clock generator, and this is separate from Ableton. So Ableton is now running at 120 BPM. The editor is now 275. And as you can see, it runs in 275. But in most cases, you want to use the Ableton sync. If you want to use the pedal as its source, it will not sync to Ableton. You can sync it to whatever you want. Underneath this section, you have the playback direction of the granular engine. As you can see, it indicates also on the pedal. The light bars here on the editor are just for indication purposes only. It doesn't represent any of the algorithms as it does with the Microcosm pedal itself. Then underneath here we have this section here, and this is the reset button, the resend button, and the randomize button. The reset button will set the pedal and the editor to its default state. If you have, for example, set the pedal manually to a different algorithm or parameter value, and you want to send the parameter values of the editor to the pedal again, just press this button and it will automatically be synchronized. The randomize button does what it says. It randomizes all the parameters except of the looper. Also, the user bank algorithms are not included in a randomizer. Then we have this section. This is the bypass knob. As you can see, it turns off the pedal. We have the tap tempo. You probably never use this. There's a hold button. If you play some small fragment of sound, it will hold that fragment if you press it. Then we go to the looper. This will show the looper. It will not activate the looper. We include this button because the interface is already big for a Maxwell Live device. To turn on the looper, you have to switch it on. And actually it's ready to go straight out of the box. So if I press record and I play something, it will record it automatically. Here you have also the subdivisions. And you have the playback direction, level of the loop, fade time if you want to stop it. It fades out and it fades in again if you play, as you can see. There's also a link button. If you press this and you stop Ableton, it will stop. And if you press start again on Ableton, it will start the looper again. This is really handy if you want to use the loop in your production, and if you stopped your Ableton session, you don't want to hear the loop again and again and again. Here you have some pedal settings. Here you can select if the loop is the loop with effect or just the loop. And here is you can select the loop going into the granular engine or after the granular engine. And here you have some the burst and the free and quantize function. These are more for if you use the pedal with the knobs on the pedal itself. Then you have the overdub and the undo and erase buttons. You can use the overdub button to record an extra layer on top of the recording. So if I press play again, And if I want to erase the last take, I can undo it, and then I can record it again. And I can erase the whole buffer. Please note that if you have recorded something into the looper and you want to store it, if you save a preset in Ableton, it doesn't store the loop. So you have to store the preset into the user bank first. And then if you want to have all the parameters also represented, save the settings as a preset in Ableton. If you like these presets and you want to store it somewhere in the user bank, just press copy, then select the user bank and then press save. And now it's saved in the bank. If you press the Sonic Freaks logo, you will be directed to the website of Sonic Freaks, and you can see if there's a new version of the editor. If you press the preset select on-off button, it enables you to choose an algorithm in Ableton Live via an envelope generator. You go to Microcosm Editor in a clip or in a session, and then you can set whatever preset you want, and if you want to make an angle, so as you can see, it will jump from 1 to 3, 4. If I switch this off, it doesn't work anymore. If you are not planning to use this, don't switch it on, because it can mess up your presets if you want to store this. We also have 31 presets made for you, and there are some really nice ones. For example, if you only want to use the reverb, we have made some settings for this. Now we have the reverb only. We also made a MIDI effect rack. You can find it MIDI effects, MIDI effect rack, and if you open the presets, then if you drag it in, it will automatically load the Microcosm Editor. I will take this off, and as you can see, we mapped several parameters to the LFOs, and you can play with it as well. And you can even remap it, whatever you like. Well, I hope it's a little bit clear what it can do, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.